Welcome back. We're here with Jack Scow. How are you today?
Good, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm excited to meet you. We were saying that Austin's the one that usually...
Right.
But you're stuck with me today. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not unhappy.
Okay, that's
so
good.
that's good.
So, you've talked a lot about your fitness, and tell us a little bit more about your journey into fitness.
Okay. I've been working out since I was 11 years old. That was 1961. And I've been personal training since 1985. I've been bodybuilding since 1974. I've won the Masters Nationals twice, and I won my pro card in 2020 in Orlando, Florida. And it's something I've been chasing all my life. And it's just been running a little bit faster than I was, okay? And, but people would always come up to me and, well, what do I do to work on this? And what do I do to work on that? So that was kind of like God in the universe telling me, I think this is your passion, this is what you should be doing. And it's worked out that way. And it was kind of scary quitting a full-time job. It had a mediocre income, but it was an income, you know, so starting that 1985. So it was exciting, a little scary, but I've been very blessed. And watching people, their ideas change about themselves, their mentality, positive mental attitude, and they go from here to here. And they feel fit, and they feel invigorated, and they're excited. And I wanted to talk today about the fit. When I started, there wasn't any other trainers in the Fresno Central Valley, okay? So I was it. Whether we fit or not, I was it, okay? And but now there's a lot of trainers. So in order to have someone that works for you, it's got to be a great fit. And so their knowledge, their experience, how you communicate, whether they practice what they preach. If they're telling you this, but they don't do that. If it's good enough to say, it's good enough to do. Okay? So, and it's one thing for them to know it, it's to get it from their head to your head and teach you how to hook up to the muscle. Okay? Because you're not in the gym to lift the weight. You're in the gym to work the muscle, okay? So I see people and they're blah, blah, blahing and blah, blahing all over the place while they're training. Well, out of all the weights and equipment in the gym, the number one muscle builder is right here between your ears, your mind. And if it's someplace else, then a majority of your gains are someplace else, especially when you're doing weight training. Now, when you're doing cardio, as long as you're going for it and you get your heart rate up, then you don't got to be focused on the machine or what you're doing so much. But in order to get the muscle to come to the party, we're there to get the muscle's attention. Because the body's goal is to acclimate, so it doesn't have to change anymore. Our goal is to never quite let it get that comfortable. But we don't get fit in 1.3 seconds. It goes a little bit, a little more, and a little more, and a little more. So the idea is the body will come to the party. And like when you get on cardio and you start doing it, and the body says, well, hey, release some of that stored body fat for energy. The body says, no, we think they're just walking to the car. They're going to stop. So when you prove to the body that you're serious, you're going to be consistent, then it starts developing an enzyme to use stored body fat for energy. Okay.
This is just a random question, but is working out until failure, like you're set, you know, you have a set, right? And then working till failure, is that like the only way to build a muscle?
Well,
because I've heard that term till failure. And so can you explain that more?
Sure. Well, when you do a particular set, the energy in the muscle is called glycogen. So when you're training hard and you're pushing it and it fatigues out, can't do anymore. Well, the glycogen in the muscle has been momentarily depleted. So they asked Arnold Schwarzenegger, how many repetitions do you do? He says, I start counting when it starts to hurt. You know, no pain, no gain,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So the idea is that you need to get the muscle's attention in order for it to continue to come along. But you don't need to traumatize it, and you definitely don't need to injure it. And if you have an issue, one of the reasons I'm there is you tell me what issues you have. You know, I have a neck that bothers or a knee that bothers. So the idea is you work around the issue, not through it, because that'll just anger it. And you don't want to anger the injured area.
Yeah.
So we get it to improve, and as the muscle gets stronger, then it supports that area that was injured or not feeling well, and over time, you become a machine. You are a calorie burning machine, okay? And that's the great thing about this. You know, you can feel crappy, and you go to the gym, and when you get done, you almost always feel better.
Yeah, that is
And
true.
when you know that you have an appointment with your trainer, like moi, okay, and if you don't show up, you lose your money. So the idea is you need to show up, and when you show up, next thing you know, you're feeling better, and you're going to make gains from what you just did,
Yeah.
okay? Little by little by little.
I have another question for
Okay.
you. So back to going how you said you have to find the right fit.
Right.
And you were the only one back in
Right.
1988, or that's what I read in
Yeah.
1988. If there weren't a lot of trainers, how was it for you trying to figure out what every client of yours needed?
Well,
Since you
are
were
you talking about client, or are you talking about the client looking for a trainer?
client for the trainer.
Right. Okay.
Because you're the only one, right? Pretty
I
much.
was.
So you had to pretty much formulate for each different
Sure.
person.
Right. But fortunately, I was pretty good at communication.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for a prospective trainer, then the personalities have to mesh.
Yeah.
And, you know, look at what they do, what they accomplish, if they practice what they preach, if it works. Some people are just in it for the money. If you care about the client, then your attitude, your ability, your time that you spend with them, it shows. So yes, I like this trainer and I like what he does and it obviously works, look at what he looks like. You know, and he practices what he preaches and he's been doing it a long time. You know, and if somebody's good, they're going to be relatively busy because they're good at what they do. And so I recommend you interview 2 or 3, get some recommendations from friends, whatever other means you have, and then talk with them and choose the one that, you know, I like the way this trainer talks. I like his mindset. And we will be there to support you and not hurt you. Keep you in one piece. You can make gains, but stay in one piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also, sorry, I was reading on your website.
Uh-huh.
So you started in 1988, and then you said you had another job, and then they featured
Prior
you.
to that.
Yeah, they featured you in the Fresno Bee,
Uh-huh.
and that made you kind of blow up, right?
Right.
So what was that like, that feeling? What did you feel like when you really realized, oh, I can keep going at this?
Right. Well, I had been doing it part-time for 3 years, and then February of 1988, I decided to quit the full-time job and just go with the personal trainer. And then the article broke, and it was very positive, and I had pictures of my clients and my phone number, and they interviewed the clients, and they were very excited about what was going on. And so they were happy. And I have just been blessed to be able to take my avocation and make my vocation out of it.
Well, it's great to see that you're still thriving, you know,
Oh, yeah.
since 1988, and just doing what you love and helping people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Sure. Call me. We'll talk about what your goals are, whatever issues you might have, and what you want to achieve with yourself. and we will do it. We'll have a great time. And like I like to say, come to the gun show, okay?
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that unless you want to. Okay, thank you. Come see me. Give me a call.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.